Me, a local poultry farm, I have my 5 million, 6 million, 7 million. How many birds can I rear? How many local birds can I rear using my 5 million, 6 million, 7 million? Now, all of you, I want you to get closer. Let us know. Let us calculate everything step by step, item by item, so that we can know how much money do you need to rear a certain number of the poultry. Now, we are going to do a calculation of the 500 local birds. Now, all of you who wants to rear 500 birds, you can use the same calculation. If you want to rear 1,000 birds, you can use this calculation and add some more money. If you need to rear low number of birds, you can also subtract. But some items will stay fixed. Now, I'm talking to you who has already a chicken house. Now, everyone who has a chicken house, this is the budget you're going to use. But don't think you're going to use this 6 million, 7 million, 5 million to also construct a chicken house. Like I told you, there are some things you need to have before you start even thinking of rearing these birds. One of them is the chicken house, things like land and the likes. So we're going to do another calculation. It's going to be, I want you guys to get your books and pens. I want you guys to get your calculators. It's going to be a little bit of a lot of mathematics, but I'm going to make it as simple as possible. And all of you, I would encourage you to watch up to the end, because there are some bonus tips at the end that are going to help you to bring down these costs. So I encourage you to watch up to the end, because after doing all these calculations, that's where we are going to find most of the tricks that we use to bring everything down. Before we dive into that, welcome to another exciting episode of The Farm With Us, where we get to answer all your questions right here in our classroom. Mia Local Poultry Farm is located in Chenjojo District along Fort Potro Road in a trading center called River Valley. That's where you're going to find us. Call us if you need the one-day-old chicks, if you need those chickens that are point of lay, if you need roosters to serve your birds, if you need 1 month old chicks, please just give us a call. For all of you who need 1 month old chicks, we have slashed our prices. You guys, I know you'll take this offer. You're going to like this offer. I have slashed our prices down from 10,000. Give us that call. We're going to tell you how much we're selling. But all of you who need 1 day old chicks, all of you who need 1 month old chicks, please just dial those numbers. You know our numbers. Please call them. They are everywhere on our YouTube channel, and we are ready to serve you. Like I always tell you, please don't start up any business. Don't start up any farm, whether it is a chicken farm, whether it's a goat farm, whether it's a piggery. Don't start up any kind of business without getting the right information from the right people. What do I mean by this? You can make so many consultations, but you need to find the right people to consult. At Mia Local Poultry Farm, you can consult us, you can talk to us, give us those phone calls, you can come and do farm training. We train your farm managers, we train you, the farm owners, we equip you with everything you need to know when it comes to this business of the local chickens. Now, without wasting a lot of time, let's dive deep into our question for today. Me, a local poultry farm, I have 6 million. Is it enough for me to rear 500 birds? Okay, now I'm going to assume that with your 6 million, you already have the land, you already have the chicken house in place. Now let's dive into our calculations for the 500 local birds. Now, 500 local birds, what do we need? First of all, we are going to buy these chicks. Okay? The 500 birds, if you come at me, a local poultry farm, each chick is 3,000 shillings. Now, if each chick is 3,000 shillings, okay, times the 500 birds that you need, okay, so it's going to be 3,000 times 500. What are we going to get? We are going to get 1.5 million Ugandan shillings. I may not calculate so much these prices in dollars, but I will try to Okay, once in a while I'll be giving you these prices in dollars, because I know we have so many people who are not watching in Uganda. So in Uganda, it's 1.5 million shillings. Okay, that in dollars, currently at the dollar rate standing at 3,500, it's going to be $428. Now, $428 or 1.5 million is going to be enough to buy the 500 birds. But remember, when you come to me, a local poultry farm, to buy the 500 birds, we don't give you only 500 birds. We add you some more birds. So out of the 500, we can even add you about 50 birds, depending. Why do we add these birds? Because we know some of you guys are new. We know when you take these chicks in the brooders, even when you follow what we are telling you, somewhere, somehow, you may lose a few of these chicks. So we add you these chicks so that they can compensate in case you have a little bit of a loss. But after getting the experience in brooding, then you're going to have this as an added bonus. That means instead of getting 500 chicks, you're going to get about 550 chicks, guys. Isn't this amazing? Okay, let's go to our second item. Now, our second item, we told you in every brooder, we need pots. Now, these local pots, okay, the ones for brooding, not the one for collecting water from your wells, no. So, those pots, you're going to need about 3 pots. Now, 3 pots, I'm going to calculate at the highest. You're going to buy each pot at 10,000 shillings. I know others sell them at 8,000 shillings, others 7,000 shillings, but let's go with the highest depending on where you are. Or sometimes you need to buy them and then transport them, then it's going to take you 10,000 shillings. Now 10,000 shillings for the pots, in dollars, I think that's about $3. So you're going to need $3 or 10,000 shillings to buy 3 pots. You'll need 3 pots for the 500 chicks in your brooder. Now you're going to need brooding peppers. Now, brooding peppers, depending on where you buy them, others sell them 10,000, others 8,000, others 7,000. Like I told you, it depends on where you're buying. Others are in town centers, others are in upcountry in villages. So I'm going to take the figure of 10,000 per brooding pepper. So that's going to bring our total to 10,000 times 5. That gives us 50,000 Ugandan shillings. That is about $15. Okay, I'm just estimating it's about $15 for those of you who are not watching from Uganda. Now, what is our item number 4? You're going to need coffee husks. Why do we need coffee husks? You see, in our brooder or even in our chicken house, we need to put the coffee husks down. Why? Because we need them to accumulate heat for us. You know, when you have made your chicken houses, you have put your cement, your gravel, there is that coldness that comes from below, that comes from that cement. So we need to get these coffee husks and then lay them down. They will work as mattresses for chicken. Okay, isn't that amazing? So the coffee husks, you're going to need about 2 sacks. Now 2 sacks, the current Ugandan price is 12,000 shillings per sack. So that is going to be 24,000 shillings. 24,000 shillings is going to be about $7 for those of you who are not watching from Uganda. Now we go to our item number 5. You're going to need paper trays. Why do you need paper trays? We always tell you that these chicks, when they are young, when they are between 1 day to 7 days, they have never eaten everything that comes their way. They want to pick them, they want to eat them. So we want them not to eat the coffee husks. So we want to separate the feeds from the coffee husks. Because if you put these feeders that we're going to talk about here, these chicks will not know that these are feeders, so they will not eat from them. They will go on pecking the coffee husks, thinking that is the feeds. Okay? So we need to put in these trays, many of them, so that as these chicks are pecking everything, they will get to know that, okay, now this is the food, it smells like this. And then after 1 week, we can remove the paper trays and put or introduce the first stage feeders. Now we're going to need about 20 paper trays. Now those ones are very cheap. Each one costs about 500 shillings. Now that's going to be 10,000 shillings for all the 20. Still that is going to be $3. Let's go to our item number 6. What else do we need? We are going to need, item number 6, we're going to need drinkers. Now, the first stage drinkers, depending on where you buy them, but you're going to buy them about 8,000 shillings. That is about $2 or $2.2. So, how many drinkers are we going to need? You're going to need about 10 drinkers. If each one is 8,000 shillings, that is going to be 80,000 Ugandan shillings. That's going to be about, I think, about $22. So you're going to need 80,000 shillings for the 10 drinkers, each one costing 8,000 shillings. Now, let's go to our next item. That is going to be feeders. We're going to have two types of feeders. Remember, we fed these 1 to 7 days chicks. We fed them using the paper trays. But now after 7 days, we have to introduce the first stage feeder. Now the first stage feeder, each one costs 2,000 shillings, Ugandan shillings. We're going to need about 20 of them. That is going to give us about 40,000 Ugandan shillings, and that is going to be about $13. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit fast, but I think we are all following. I don't want to make this video too long, but let's continue with our breakdown. We're going to need, from the first stage feeders, I encourage you to skip because we are trying to save. Those are the tips I was talking about. So from the first stage feeders, I want you to skip the second stage feeders and go to the third stage feeders. Why are we skipping the second stage? Because they are more or less the third stage feeders. So I don't want you to buy the first stage, then you buy second stage, then the third stage, then the fourth stage. You're going to be using a lot of money for nothing. So these chicks, after 1 month, they are going to be able to feed from the third stage feeders, even if you don't introduce the second stage feeders. So we are leaving out the second stage feeders. Now the third stage feeders, you're going to need about 20 of them. Each one is going to cost you about 4,000 Ugandan shillings, and that is going to be 80,000 Ugandan shillings. Now that is going to be $22. Okay, I think you guys are following. Number 9, you're going to need glucovit. Why do we need glucovit? Glucovit is, I always tell you, it is the glucose for the chicks or the chicken. Remember, when you get these chicks out of the incubator, you're going to vaccinate them. Through vaccinating, they are going to get stressed, because before you feed them, before you do anything, you're going to vaccinate them against Newcastle 1 and Marex. Now, they're going to go through a lot of stress. After vaccinating them, you're going to transport them to your farm. We don't know where you live. Maybe you live up country, about 10 hours away. Maybe you live 2 hours away from our farms or from our point of depot. Now, you're going to need glucose. These chicks, before they eat on anything, you're going to get glucose, mix it with water, and give your 1-day-old chicks. Now you're going to need about 2 sachets of glucose. You're going to use one right when you bring the chicks, and the other one will take you throughout the brooder. Each one is going to cost you 5,000 shillings, so you're going to need 10,000 shillings for the 2 sachets. And that is going to be, again, $3 for the 2 sachets. What else do we need? We're going to need vitamins. Now vitamins, you're going to calculate all the vitamins you're going to need up to about 6 months. We assume you're going to need about 10 sachets of the different vitamins that you're going to buy, each one at 10,000 shillings. That is going to give us 100,000 Ugandan shillings. These vitamins will take you up to the maturity when these chickens mature. Now, 100,000 shillings in dollars is going to be about $30. Our item number 11, you're going to need charcoal. Okay? Our item number 11, you're going to need charcoal. Why do we need charcoal? The charcoal is for the pots. You're going to need charcoal only for the first month in your brooder. Okay? To give the warmth to these chicks. Some of these things I don't want to explain much because you already know them. You just want to know the breakdown or the prices or the amount of money you need to rear the 500 chicks. Now the charcoal, you're going to need about 2 sacks depending on where you buy them. At Mia Local Poultry Farm, we are not in the town center, so charcoal is cheap. It's about 3,000 or 3,000. I mean, it's about 30,000 to 40,000. But I'm going to take the average price to someone who is in Kampala, someone who is in a city. A sack of charcoal is going to be about 70,000, 70 to 75,000 shillings. You're going to need 2 sacks. That's going to give you 150,000 Ugandan shillings. Now 150,000 Ugandan shillings, that's going to give you about $44. Let's go to our next item, that is item number 12. You're going to need vaccines. Okay, you're going to need vaccines. Remember, you're going to be vaccinating these chicks every week until when they're about the 3rd month, and then you can continue vaccinating them against Newcastle. That is every month when the chicks are mature. Now we're going to estimate all these vaccines that you're going to need to be around 200 Ugandan shillings, 200,000 Ugandan shillings. That is going to be about $65. Now all these vaccines should take you from the first day up to maturity. Now let's go to our item now. This is where people get the calculations wrong. Okay, the next item, it's going to be feeds. Now let's talk about the feeds, because I know all of you were waiting for this, and I told you this is where we're going to give you tricks where you're going to bring these costs down. Now we're going to need about 4 different quantities of feeds. Okay, the first is going to be pellets. We have been explaining to you that in the brooder, we only feed our chicks on pellets. We don't mix their feeds. Okay? So those of you who are mixing for the chicks in brooders, whatever you are doing, you need to stop it. That's why your chicks are not growing. You need to go and buy the pellets. Okay? When you buy these pellets for the chicks, for the first or 1-day chick, they are going to boost their body, their immunity, and they are going to grow so fast. So by the time your chicks are 1 month and they're coming out of the brooder, okay, it's going to be a very, very strong hen or cock. Now, how much pellets do we need for the 500 chicks in the brooder? Like I told you, the simple mathematics we can use. For every 100 flock of chicks, you're going to need 1 sack of the 50 kilogram pellets. That means for the 500 birds, you're going to need 5 sacks. Okay, that is 100, 100, 100, you know, times 5. That is going to give us 5 sacks. How much is a sack? Depending on where you buy it, you're going to buy it in a range of 150,000 shillings. That is $44 per sack. Now, if each is 150,000 Ugandan shillings, how much money do you need for the 5 sacks? Now that is 150,000 Ugandan shillings times 5, or $44 times 5. You guys, you have your calculators, you can do the mathematics there. So in Ugandan shillings, you're going to need about 750,000 shillings, okay, to take you all the way through the brooder. So at 1 month, after the brooder, remember our chicks are 1 month or 4 weeks. Now, how much feeds do you need to feed these chicks? Now, from 1 month to 2 months, okay, each chick is going to be needing about 65 to 70 grams of feeds. Now, the simple calculations, okay, for the 500 birds, you are going to need 1,000 kilograms of feeds, or 1 ton. The simple calculation, if you remember what I told you, for every 100 birds, okay, 1 month to 2 months, you're going to feed them 200 kilograms. Okay, I think you guys will remember that calculation. So we have said for the 500 birds, between 1 month to 2 months, you're going to feed them on 1,000 kilograms, or simply we call it 1 ton. Now, how much are feeds? Now, if you're mixing these feeds yourselves, depending on where you buy your maize bran, depending on where you buy your for now we don't recommend you to use maize brand. We only recommend you to use broken, because these chicks are still putting on the weight, so we don't want to give them maize brand. We want to give them only broken maize and the concentrate. So depending on where you buy your broken maize and your concentrate, you're going to get each kilo at 1,500 Ugandan shillings. Now 1,500 Ugandan shillings times 1 ton, that will give us 1.5 million Ugandan shillings. I think that's about $440, something close to that. It's 400, actually it's $448. So we have said the first month, or between 1 to 2 months, we're going to feed our birds using 1.5 million Ugandan shillings. How much feeds do we need for the second to third month? Second to third month, we are going to need 1,200 kilograms, or that is 1.2 tons of the feeds, times the same cost of the feeds if you formulate them from your farm. We have said each kilo will be 1,500 shillings. That will give you 1,800,000 Ugandan shillings. Okay, 1.8 million Ugandan shillings. That is going to be about $514. Now let's go to, now our chicks are at the third month. Now let's go to between the third month to the fourth month. How much money do we need, or how much feeds do we need? Remember, now our chicks are growing. Our chicks are going to be eating now between 100 grams to 120 grams. Now here we are going to need about 1,500 kilograms of the feeds. That is 1.5 tons to feed our 500 birds in that month. Remember, here we're talking between 3 to 5 months. 3 to the fourth month. Now, when we calculate here, we are going to get, if we calculate 1,500 kilograms times 1,500 shillings per kilogram, we are going to get 2,250,000 Ugandan shillings. How much money is that in dollars? That is going to be $642. Now, we have calculated everything. Remember, there are a few things: transport. Maybe you're going to buy a few jerry cans when these chickens grow, and you need to get bigger drinkers. Instead of buying drinkers, you can buy jerry cans. You may need this. Maybe they have gotten sick and you're buying this medicine, or you're buying that. We are going to get a certain figure or a certain amount of money that we need to put aside to cater for everything. Now, I have calculated that if the worst goes to the worst, you're going to need about 500 Ugandan shillings. Okay, 500 Ugandan shillings. That is going to be about 142 US dollars. You're going to put this money aside to help you just in case you encounter any challenges during your 4 months of farming. Now, when you add that 500 shillings to our total, how much money do we get? Now, after calculating, you're going to come up with 9,074,000. Guys, you're going to need 9 million to run, or to rear, or to manage this farm of 500 birds from 1 day up to 4 months. So you guys, with 9 million Ugandan shillings, okay, this is all you need, and I have calculated everything that you need. The only thing is, these prices, like I told you, it can go down depending in which location you are, because you'll find people in up country are buying maize at 700, 800 shillings. Like right now we are in season of maize. Maize is cheap at our farm, it is only 800 shillings. But then if you go to Kampala, you're going to find people are buying maize still at 1,300 shillings. Okay, now the difference of 500 or 400 shillings there, if you calculate per the tons that we are going to buy, that is a lot of money. This can even reduce your budget by about 1.5 million or 2 million. Okay, so guys, I told you you have 6 million, 7 million, 8 million, 9. Don't forget to start, get the 500 birds, and as you continue feeding them, you are looking for more money to invest in your farm, and this is going to help you to achieve this. Now, how much money is that in dollars? That's going to be 2,571 US dollars that you need to raise your birds from 1 day to the 4th month. Okay, including buying of chicks and everything. So we have known that we need 9 million shillings. What is next? And why have we calculated up to 4 months? Someone is going to ask me, when I brood or when I raise these birds to 4 months, am I done? Is that all I need? No, that's not all you need. But what we know, at 4 months, you're going to be able to sell all your cocks that you have at your farm. I'll give you an example. If you buy 500 birds, in most cases, we have a ratio of 50 to 50, okay, in the gender balance of these chickens. Now, if you have bought 500 birds, you expect to have about 250 female and 250 male birds, okay? Now, what does this mean? At 4 months, if you have been feeding these chickens very well, just like we have calculated here, at 4 months, your male chickens or your cocks are going to be about 2.5 to 3 kilograms. You need to sell them off. Now, when you sell them off, if you have about 250 cocks and you sell them each, let's sell them at the least amount you can sell. Let's sell them at the least, that is 30,000 Ugandan shillings. That is about $9. Now, if you sell them at that price, how much money are you going to get? You're going to get 7.5 million shillings. Guys, I've just told you you need 9 million to invest in these birds to reach 4 months. And at 4 months, we have seen we have already gotten back 7.5 million Ugandan shillings. Guys, isn't this amazing? That means you still have your 250 local hens, the parent stock, okay, the female ones that are going to start laying, and it's as if you have invested only 1.5 million Ugandan shillings because most of your money is back. So, guys, I told you these are the tricks that we use when we are farming. All you need to do is calculate your farming up to 4 months, and then when you sell these hens or these cocks, they are going to bring back money. Now, this 7.5 million shillings that you get is going to help you to raise all these birds until you're done. Because by about 5 months, your chickens are laying. Now, these eggs that you are collecting, you're going to sell them off. When they reach about 7 months, these are now mature eggs. Now, when you get the mature eggs, what do? We do value addition. I don't want to go back into the value addition because we have a whole video explaining about value addition right here on this channel. You can go and watch that video. It will show you how we can add value to our eggs. Remember, we said from a 250 female chickens, you can make more than 20 million, okay, every month if you are serious. But if you're not serious, you're going to make 1 million, 1.5 million every month. Go and watch that video. I know you guys are doing the same thing. You guys, you have given us so many phone calls telling us about how we have opened your eyes, how you didn't know this can happen. Most of you guys have already tested it. It is the same thing we are doing at Mia Local Poultry Farm. This is the reason we always call you to come to Mia Local Poultry Farm to go through our farm training, to go through acquiring these skills and knowledge. So, for those of you who started without knowledge, this is all I can tell you for now. The rest we can always discuss when you come at our farm. We shall tell you how to add value to your eggs, how to add value to your one-day-old chicks, where you need to sell these one-day-old chicks at 1 month, where you don't need to rear them for many more months. We are going to train you through the marketing, where you need to sell your chicks, how much you need to sell your chicks, how you can sell these chicks without failing to get the market. These are the things that we discuss at Mia Local Poultry Farm. So I don't want to make this video too long. I'll not speak everything, but when whoever needs anything, please just give us those phone calls. We are there to answer you, to tell you all you need to know in the local chicken farming. I remind you that Mia Local Poultry Farm is located along Fort Potro Road in Wee Valley, that trading center. That's where you're going to find us just before you enter Chenjojo, or just before you enter Matiri Forest. Give us those phone calls. Our emails are there. Watch all the videos. I encourage you to watch all the videos even before you send us those questions or those comments asking us to review most of the videos, because we have a lot of content explaining about so many things, okay, when it comes to local chicken farming. And those of you, I remember we had promised you to start the catfish farming in January. We were a little bit disturbed by the just concluded elections. You know, internet went down for some time, and that is the same time we're supposed to get our juveniles from Nigeria. We had communication problems. Now, the juveniles that we had booked were issued to someone else, so we need to wait maybe another 1 month so that they can brood for us, and then they supply us with the next batch. I think that will be around end of February or early March. So you guys, we love you so much. Thank you for being very good viewers. Please take a second to subscribe, share. We don't want you to learn alone. When you share with your friends, we all get to learn. What do we need here? We need to keep poverty out of your homes. This is the reason we are here. So Mia Local Poultry Farm, I say now, bye-bye.